Hi, welcome to Module 4 of our Self-Coaching Stress Management series. This module talks about non-sleep deep rest, NSDR. Fancy name, basically what it covers or encompasses is a series of different practices that allow us to get to a state of deep rest that doesn't involve sleep. And the thing that happens in this non-sleep deep rest is that we're achieving the physiologic, the mental and the physical benefits of being in a state of deep relaxation while still being able to maintain mental focus. So we're not asleep, we're not semi-conscious, we are awake, we are alert, but our body is calm. So what it does is, and there's a couple different mechanisms we'll talk about, it induces a state of calmness in the body and the mind. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So it downregulates that sympathetic nervous system response.
Yep.
And it increases neuroplasticity. And when we talk about resilience, neuroplasticity is big. It's the ability of our brain to rewire itself, to change to healthier patterns, or conversely, to adopt unhealthy patterns. But with neuroplasticity, we want higher neuroplasticity. We used to believe that once we were adults, our brains were pretty much set. Damage couldn't be repaired, things couldn't change. And we know now that's not true. But interestingly enough, non-sleep deep rest puts us into a state where we've really increased our neuroplasticity. It enhances our learning, and it also increases our retention of what we learn. Other good things are in a state of non-sleep deep rest, it does make sleep easier. And again, that goes back to that regulation of the nervous system that happens naturally here.
And quieting the brain.
Exactly, exactly.
Quiets the chatter.
We talked a little bit earlier in one of the other modules about sleep, and that two of the biggest benefits we get in sleep are the deep rest section, the deep sleep section, which allows physiologic recovery, and the rapid eye movement segment of sleeping, which helps us process emotions and memories. So non-sleep deep rest really gives us that physiologic relaxation. One of the big forms of it is called Yoga Nidra. If you've never done it, it's not the handstand, back bend, yoga you see pictures of all the time. Yoga Nidra is actually relaxing. Most Yoga Nidra instructors will tell you to bring a pillow, bring a blanket. It's like nap yoga. It's awesome. There are tons of Yoga Nidra videos on YouTube. Find a voice you like. That's really the key thing. Most of the sequences are very similar, but you have to find a voice that doesn't grate on your nerves. You can do a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute segment. Can really show a benefit if you do it right before you go to bed, because it gets you into that deep state of relaxation and then allows you to drift off to sleep. It helps release that muscle tension that we talked about. When we're chronically stressed, we get muscle tension that's constantly sending a signal to our brain that something's wrong, and then our brain doesn't allow us to go into a state of very restorative sleep. Yoga Nidra is a great tool for that. If you use Yoga Nidra for 20 minutes during the day, it has been shown to have the equivalent physiologic benefit, physical benefit of 2 hours of sleep. So this is a really powerful little practice. Check it out on YouTube. Again, tons of different providers out there. Find a voice that you like. Yeah. Self-hypnosis is another big form of non-sleep deep rest. And what self-hypnosis is doing, it gets you to a point where you've got that state of deep relaxation, and then it focuses you on tailored messages for your outcome. So this can be things like eating healthier, sleeping better, managing your stress.
Pain management.
Yes, chronic pain management. Self-hypnosis, this is not the stage hypnosis. You're not going to cluck like a chicken or do things that are going to embarrass you later. This is really to make positive change in your life, to get the inner critic, that default mode, out of your brain, getting it out of your head while you're in a state of deep relaxation, your nervous system's calmed down so that you can really absorb the messaging. And Jaime talked about this in one of the other modules. We've all had the experience where you leave work or you leave home and you get to your destination and you don't remember how you got there. What this does is it puts us out of that daily operating state, especially when we're in a state of high stress, and puts us into a state of deeper awareness and focus. So we are relaxed, we're calm, and we are more receptive to the positive messaging that we're receiving.
And I think the other part too is that the brain, I think we all experience, and some of you are probably experiencing right now as you participate in this, we have a bit of cognitive ADHD, and I'm not talking like clinical ADHD, I'm just talking about the brain constantly racing, thinking about other things, anxieties, the mood of the mood that's in the body, the chemistry that's in the body, play the pop-up thoughts that appear to just run us sometimes, and we just let it run. And one of the nice things with a guided, whatever it is, guided hypnosis, guided the yoga nidra, I think those are really important, to find that voice that you like, but to also have it be guided so that you're not guided so far off track by the have-tos, I should have, the grocery list, the thing you need to do for your kid tomorrow, the meeting at work. I think there's such incredible benefit to pick the message, pick the voice, pick some of the guidance and the topic that you want to hit. But I think that it really helps kind of down-regulate and slow down all of the cognitive ADHD. I know I have to do something active for me to sit and, engage in a mindfulness activity or a yoga or something. It's really hard to do by myself because my brain just wants to run. So I like it guided because it helps slow down some of that cognitive ADHD, and I'll really dial in on what it is that they're saying. And when you train yourself to kind of dial in and to take that 5 minutes, you've got 5 minutes. I don't care who you are or what you do for a living, but you can find 5 minutes to just dial this in a little bit and allow the brain that moment to relax. It is incredibly powerful. And it's the difference between running 1,000 miles an hour all day long or being able to pump the brakes and pull off for a detour and give yourself 10 minutes to rest and then go back at it again. You will feel just more revitalized. You'll have more energy to do that. Sometimes I even try to do some of this, maybe not in a really relaxed sense, but some of that, like slowing the brain down a little bit right before I leave to go home, sometimes in my vehicle before I walk in my home, when I have some private time, because my car might be the only place where I can be by myself, but they are incredibly helpful and really useful. And to gain, potentially the equivalent of 2 hours of sleep, I don't know anybody who's going to say that they don't need the 2 hours of sleep. You need it. So.
Well, and I love that you point out this is a really good, both of these, transitional tool. So if you're coming from a high stress workplace and you're trying to go home and you want to be your best self and enjoy your family, or conversely, you're coming from a high stress place and you want to go to work and you want to reset, this is a great way to do it. Self-Hypnosis Reverie is a free app. It's Reveri. I have mentioned Andrew Huberman from Stanford in one of the other modules. He's actually on the board for Reverie. It is a great tool. It's free. Check it out. Something easy to do on the fly. Reverie you can even do in your car. You can do in a lot of very convenient places during the day. You don't necessarily need a floor with a pillow and some blankets like you might for yoga nidra. But these are just two other suggestions. Non-sleep deep rest, tremendously powerful tool to downregulate your nervous system and keep that chronic stress accumulation from impacting your life. Thanks.